It's uh, a familiar scenario, isn't it? Life gets super hectic,
Mhm.
and suddenly you're thinking less about, a balanced meal.
Yeah, more about just grabbing something quick.
Yeah,
Anything.
exactly. But it turns out this isn't just a modern thing. In Japan, there's this really deep-rooted tradition of prepared side dishes called Osozai,
Hmm.
and they're specifically designed to bring that nutritional balance back to your plate, even when, well, time is tight.
That's right. And these aren't just like random snacks. Osozai are fundamentally part of the whole idea of a complete Japanese meal.
Usually served with rice, right?
Traditionally served alongside rice, yeah, to make it balanced and satisfying. What's really fascinating, though, is how this tradition, which started at home,
Right, home cooking.
has adapted. It's really evolved to meet the demands of today's busy life.
And that really brings us to what we're diving into today. We've got this great Japanese article looking at the huge popularity of Osozai you find in, well, convenience stores
Yeah.
all across Japan.
Yeah, forget maybe the usual grab-and-go stuff you might picture elsewhere.
Totally. This is about a cultural staple that's just become incredibly accessible. So our goal today is to really unpack why these convenience store Osozai are such a big deal in modern Japanese food culture,
Hmm.
giving you a clear understanding of, their appeal and their significance.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly are osozai? Like we said, they're side dishes.
Side dishes, yeah.
Meant to be eaten with a main course, usually rice. But the journey these dishes have taken is, well, pretty remarkable.
Oh, so.
They started as just everyday homemade stuff, the kind of dishes families would make regularly.
Okay.
But now the term covers this huge range of commercially prepared foods. You find them in supermarkets, convenience stores, even delivery services now.
Wow. Okay. So it's really broadened out.
Yeah, this shift really shows how ingrained the whole idea of having these supporting dishes is in Japanese eating habits.
And it's not just one single type of osozai, is it?
Yeah.
The article mentions that different regions have their own distinct versions.
Oh, absolutely. Often using local ingredients, reflecting unique regional food traditions.
That really highlights how deep these dishes run culturally. It's not just convenience, it's about, like, local food identity, too.
Precisely. And if you think about the bigger picture, you see how osozai have become this vital support system for how busy people eat in Japan today.
Right. Time is precious.
Such a valuable commodity. And having these diverse, balanced options just readily available, it makes a huge difference in keeping up a varied, nutritious diet.
Okay, so let's look back a bit. Where did this all start? The article mentions terms from way back in the Edo period.
Yeah, sosai in Edo and banzai in the Kihan region.
What were those?
Basically, specific names for weekday side dishes. It shows there was a real historical focus on these kinds of dishes being a regular part of the meal, even then.
That's fascinating. So this isn't a new concept at all.
Not at all. And even more telling, during the Edo period, you saw the emergence of nimise.
Imise.
Yeah, sellers who specialized in boiled and seasoned dishes. This is really seen as a key precursor to the commercial osais we see everywhere now.
So it wasn't just home cooks anymore.
Exactly. There was a recognized need, and a market was developing for these prepared foods.
Okay, fast forward a bit. The 1970s, convenience stores start popping up in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, probably more focused on basics, right? Quick staples.
Yeah, initially. But then in the 80s, you started seeing things like boxed lunches, bento boxes, onigiri rice balls, fried foods becoming more common.
Sounds like a familiar evolution, maybe?
It is, but here's where it got really interesting in Japan. In 1979, 7-Eleven made this very deliberate push to strengthen its osozai offerings.
Oh, really? How?
Well, they focused on things like getting rid of preservatives and putting in place really strict quality control.
Ah, so a shift towards quality, not just convenience.
Exactly. It signaled a move away from just basic convenience to offering something, well, higher quality, more trustworthy, maybe driven by consumers wanting healthier options.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
And it clearly worked, because the article points out that convenience store Osozai have just exploded since then.
totally. In terms of variety, and they've become a really integral part of Japanese food culture, appealing to like everyone, all ages.
It's not niche anymore, it's mainstream.
Definitely. And, how do they manage that? The variety, the widespread adoption.
Good question.
The article highlights the huge development of the convenience store industry itself and the significant capital investment that fueled this amazing diversification of osozai.
Right, they had the scale, the resources to innovate and cater to all sorts of tastes and needs.
Precisely.
So what's the core appeal then? What makes these convenience store osai so attractive? The article breaks it down into three key things,
Hmm.
starting with easy access to a really diverse range of traditional cuisines.
Yeah, that's a huge draw. And we're not just talking a couple of basic options here.
Yep.
No, these stores offer a surprisingly wide selection. You've got classic Japanese stuff like nikujaga, that's meat and potatoes, or grilled fish, yakizakana, odin.
Odin, the hot pot thing.
Right. But also Western-inspired dishes like hamburger steaks, beef stew. It's quite a range.
And the article specifically mentions some brands like 7-Eleven's Kin Series and Family Mart's Mom's Shakudo.
Yeah, that name, Mom's Shakudo, Mom's Dining Room.
That really tells you what they're aiming for, doesn't it?
It does. Trying to capture that feeling, that flavor of home cooking, it's more than just convenience. It's tapping into comfort, nostalgia.
Do you think they could really replicate that perfectly, or is it more about the idea of home cooking?
That's a good point. Maybe it's more capturing the essence, the variety that home cooking
And
offers.
thinking about tourists having all this easily available.
Oh, yeah. In microwave-safe containers, cutlery provided. It's a fantastic low-pressure way to try lots of Japanese food without needing big plans or reservations.
Definitely. Okay, so the second key attraction, high quality ingredients and professional taste. This isn't just an afterthought then.
Not at all. What's really interesting is the collaboration involved.
Collaboration.
Yeah, these Osozai are often developed, in partnership with specialized food manufacturers, even with input from culinary researchers.
Wow. So there's real expertise behind them.
Yes, ensuring a level of quality control that might actually surprise you, leveraging specific skills to make a better product.
The article gives examples like Lawson using local ingredients for fish dishes and Family Mart's charcoal grilled yakitori,
Oh, yeah, the yakitori.
selling over 100 million units. That's just staggering.
It really is. That kind of popularity screams high quality and satisfaction, right?
It must. What do you think makes that one so popular?
Maybe it's that perfect combo of a familiar taste, yakitori, with the sheer convenience and presumably consistent quality from Family Mart.
Makes sense. And they're also focusing more on fewer preservatives, better nutrition.
Yes, that's another big factor. Improving the nutritional balance appeals massively to health-conscious consumers. Convenience without sacrificing health.
Right. And the third major draw,
Yeah.
sheer accessibility. Anytime, anywhere.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the bedrock of the convenience store model, isn't it?
Pretty much.
204/7 operation. And they are everywhere in Japan. Train stations, city centers, even rural spots and tourist areas. Osozai are there whenever you need them.
It's a real lifesaver for late-night meals when restaurants are shut or grabbing a bite while traveling.
Exactly. And the article mentions good value too, especially with time sale discounts.
All those are great.
Plus, many have eaten spaces now, which is super helpful, especially for visitors who might not have somewhere else to eat right away.
It just shows how seamlessly they've woven themselves into the rhythm of modern Japanese life. Getting a decent, reasonably priced meal any hour, almost any location, it's huge.
It really is.
Okay, so the article then recommends some specific osozai, both personal picks and regional ones. Let's look at those.
Sounds good.
First up, Family Mart's steamed chicken and salted kelp with yamatsuki cabbage. Yamatsuki,
That is
that means addictive,
That's
right?
it, yeah. Something you keep wanting more of. The description says it's simple but addictive. Tender steamed chicken, savory salted kelp, crisp cabbage,
That's pretty good.
all seasoned with sesame oil, suggested as a snack or a side dish. Versatile.
Nice. Okay, next. Lawson's 3.5G dietary fiber roasted sesame flavor root vegetable salad. That definitely sounds healthy.
It does. It's presented as a Japanese-style salad, high in fiber, uses root veggies like burdock, lotus root, carrot,
Pretty good, yeah?
right, Rinkin, with a roasted sesame dressing, savory, crunchy, clearly targeting that health-aware market by highlighting the fiber.
Makes sense. And the last personal pick, 7-Eleven's grilled mackerel with grated ponzu. That sounds almost fancy for a convenience store.
It does have a more refined ring to it. Fatty mackerel grilled over an open flame, served with enoki and shimeji mushrooms,
Yeah.
and grated daikon radish in a refreshing ponzu sauce. They emphasize the tender texture, the citrus notes, and crucially, it's boneless. Easy to eat.
Very convenient. Okay, moving to the area-specific ones. First is Family Mart's Tokai Hokuriku Hacho Miso Rich and Umami Doteni. Sounds very regional.
Absolutely. Doteni is a Nagoya specialty, right? A slow simmered dish.
I think so, yeah.
This is a chilled version. Domestic pork intestines simmered in rich hachimiso. And yeah, only sold in the Tokai and Hokuriku areas. A real taste of local heritage, conveniently packaged.
Cool. Then there's Lawson's Chikseni, The article specifically flags this for foreign visitors.
Yeah, chikuzeni, it's a traditional hearty stew from Kyushu. Chicken thigh, 6 different vegetables, burdock, lotus root, carrot, konnyaku.
The konjac jelly thing.
Uh-huh. Kitake mushrooms, bamboo shoots, all simmered in a flavorful broth. Recommending it to visitors suggests it's seen as a good example of classic Japanese home cooking.
Oh, good introduction.
Yeah.
And finally, for the regional picks, 7-Eleven's Yamatsuki Chikuzentai. Stir-fried greens. Another Yamatsuki.
Yes, another addictive one. This features stir-fried kamatsuna greens with a savory garlic and chicken broth sauce, noted for crisp texture, high fiber.
And where's this one found?
Regionally, Hokuriku and Shizuoka Prefecture, apparently. These regional ones really show how convenience stores can be a gateway to Japan's diverse food scene without needing to travel everywhere.
That's a great point. So for someone visiting Japan, how can they really make the most of all this? The article has some tips.
It does. First, embrace the seasonal stuff to really experience Japanese food culture.
Right, they change menus with the seasons.
Often, yeah. Osozai featuring seasonal ingredients like bamboo shoot stew in spring, or maybe chestnut salad in autumn. They call it an eating calendar. Taste the seasons through these dishes.
I like that, an eating calendar. What else?
Second tip, sample local cuisine easily through those regional menus we talked about.
Like the Hokkaido Genghis Khan or Okinawa's Goya-chan Puru?
Exactly. The article points to 7-Eleven's Gotochi Gourmet Series, local gourmet series, as a super accessible way to try these flavors. Even suggests it for eating and walking while exploring.
Nice and casual.
Mm-hmm.
And the final tip.
The final tip leans into social media, showcasing beautifully arranged Osozai on Instagram.
Ah, the presentation aspect.
Yeah, the idea of creating a ryokan-style meal at home or in your hotel room, arranging several small Osozai dishes artfully.
Like those traditional inn meals with lots of little bowls.
Precisely. The small portions, the colorful variety, especially veggie dishes, they lend themselves well to that kind of presentation, apparently very popular with younger people.
Like creating your own mini photogenic tasting menu. That's fun.
It is. Oh, and finally, they briefly mention you can even buy Osozai online now.
Online. Like Amazon?
Yeah, platforms like Amazon, which opens up even more options, discounts, limited editions, assorted sets. Some are even designed for long-term storage, like for emergency rations.
Interesting. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's really clear that convenience store ososai in Japan are way more than just quick food.
Oh, definitely. They're this fascinating mix of old tradition and modern convenience. Incredible variety, surprisingly high quality, and a genuine link to Japanese food culture.
Exactly. And for you, our listener, this gives a real peek into a practical and honestly delicious part of everyday Japanese life.
It might even spark some ideas for your own quick meals, or maybe just make you more curious about Japanese food generally.
And that brings us to our final thought for you to mull over. How does having such diverse, convenient food options so readily available actually shape daily life and the whole food scene in Japan?
That's a big question.
It is. And maybe think about whether you see similar trends or maybe emerging solutions where you are, where readily accessible prepared foods are playing a bigger and bigger role.
Yeah, definitely something to think about.